Howdy y'all, it's Kathy from RustPaperScissors, and I'm here today to show the tags that I made for the hashtag Grungy Tag Challenge 2025 June. The prompt was scraps, and once you get all your scraps out and get started, you get different ideas and different inspiration. And so I made a variety of tags this time and really had fun. If you have junk journaled for any length of time, you will have scraps. And these are just, some of the scraps that I have. And it's just, it's mind-boggling. I finally got to where I was throwing some stuff away, and I would say to myself as I threw it away, oh, a real crafter would have kept that, and, but it gets to be overwhelming. So I just wanted to show you those, but in getting out all the scraps, it was easy to make a bunch of tags. I'm gonna stop the camera for a minute and just show you the progression of the tags and what I did, but it's gonna be a quick video. Okay, I wanted to show you the variety of tags that I have. When I do a grungy tag, I like to start with a grungy base. So I have these tags that I have rusted and like to use them in my tags. So I just wanted to show you those and say this is what I started with. I used a variety in making them, but the first tags that I did this was just a simple collage. And I have it on a little tag, and this would be easily added to a journal. I added some rusted brads. I believe it was Tracy Fox did a assemblage of small tags, and she did some layered tags. So I really liked that, and so I made several layered tags. And this one is just has ledger paper, and that's from like the 1950s, and then this is book page, old matte paper, and some music paper. And I just used some fun foam to back them up, so they were layered tags. Then this was again just a plain tag that I collaged and added a little sticker kind of as the embellishment there in the center. That one, I left some of these kind of blank because I thought I could use them in a variety of journals, and at a later time I could add a focal point or change them up just a little bit. Okay, this is the next set of tags that I did, and again this one is a layered tag. And I just collaged a small collage, and then I had I believe this is a Tim Holtz piece of ephemera, and you could add it on there, and then you've got a completed little tag. But this is what I showed you, just that it would look like plain. And then this is a tag that I made where I added the focal point, I added some wire and just some ephemera. And then again, this one is another one that I completed. Again, it's a layered tag, and added just some torn material at the top. And then this last one is a little bit of sari silk tied in a bow, and just again a layered tag. And then these next two, these were some of my favorites. This one again was just a collage tag that I layered, and then I added this Tim Holtz picture, and I added some negative 35 millimeter film strip to the back, and I really liked that tag. And then this tag, these little girls reminded me of when I was in grade school, and this is the way we dressed when we went to grade school. And so it just made me think of the first grade, and I remember my first day of school, and I thought somebody could journal on here, like the name of their school, maybe their first grade teacher. My teacher's name was Mrs. Parker, and then, "Are your best friend?" My best friend was Suzanne Irving, and then on the back I just added some ledger paper that you could, write on. So I loved that tag. I really thought that was cute. Just again using scraps, and then just some of the Tim Holtz paper dolls. And then I watched several videos about scrap tags and using our scraps, and I saw one, and I can't remember the channel name or really what they were describing, but this is my take on what I thought I saw. It was taking a tag, and then I wanted to add a rusted focal point. And I have these rusted, I call them book plates, and I love to use these, but I thought, what if I added a book place to highlight, a spot on the tag? And so I just made a collage, and then I added this small book plate, and I added a label on the back, but I left it open, so if the person who got the journal or whatever wanted to, make the focal point something that they wanted, they could add it to it. So I thought that was a fun idea. And then this one, I did the same thing. Again, it's just a collage. I added the rusted book plate. And then on this one, the focal point was just, I believe these were a digital kit where it was stamps. And I just cut out the image. And then I added a little pull tag on the back. And so you can just slip it in and have a tag, or again, the person who got the journal or whatever could change the picture. So I think this was maybe my favorite, or the little girls were probably my favorite tags. And then while I was thinking about scraps, I was trying to think a little bit out of the box, because we have so many. And what I thought about was sometimes, we have a tag that perhaps got damaged, or it's really a scrap in itself. So that's what this one was. It was just an old tag, and part of it, got torn off. So I just created a scrap tag and added a focal point, used some rusted paper clip, rusted staples, and there we have a tag. And then I'll do this one. When I make a journal, I try to take all the offcuts from the journal pages and include them in the journal for the person who gets the journal. Perhaps they want to make collages on the pages, or they want to make their own tags. They'll have the papers that I used in the journal, and so I really like to do that. But I thought it might be fun just to make a little tag that is the scrap pieces, and then a person could leave it together as a little tag, or they could tear these out and use the different pages in their journal. So I just went through and I picked out several different types of paper. This one I added some sellotape to, and then this one just added a rusted book dart, or a tarnished book dart. And I thought this was a fun way to use the papers from the journal. And again, just a plain tag. And And so that's all it is. It's just a little tag of scraps. And so that was just an idea that I had. And then the last thing that I did was I took some corrugated cardboard and I just made it into a shape of the tag. And then I added this clamp, this rusted clamp. So it's not real thick if you add it to a journal. But all I did was I took blank pages, scraps from journals, and I just layered them together. And I stamped on some of them, like this first one I did a little stamp, and then I did live, laugh, and then love. And it's just a little tag with scraps that you could add to your journal. And then I added a little rusted star on the top. So those are the tags that I made for this challenge. I would appreciate your comments. Tell me what you think. Or how you use your scraps. If you have an idea for using the scraps in a special way. If you like the video, I would appreciate it if you hit the like button. That helps my videos get seen a little bit more. And I do have some of these rusted elements in my shop. And my shop is RustPaperScissors. And if you're interested in some of the metal tags or some of the elements. But that's all I wanted to show today, was just these tags. And I do appreciate your time. Thank you very much.